else to give.
And look at Steve Mortimer. Ecstasy.
Origin is the greatest challenge in rugby league.
And you've ultimately got to win at all costs.
These young men, and a lot of them are rookies, want to know what Origin is all about. They've only got to look back to the past.
Queensland are coming back. Queensland! It's a miracle! Oh, yeah!
Origin is total commitment, it's total sacrifice.
It's doing things that you don't think you can do.
Get to the one no finish. Michael O'Connor has won the second state of Origin.
You can think of a rugby league game, times it by 10, he still wouldn't be there. He still wouldn't be as fast as an Origin game.
And what a piece on the kickoff. 20 is Emmett.
You'll be out on your feet, but you're not to let that person down, inside or outside.
And this is Bowman again getting in the way of the attackers. He's gutsing it out.
In Origin, you learn a lot about yourself.
You've got to be out there putting your body on the line. You've got to make sure that you've got no inhibitions, no fears.
Oh no! A clash between Ricketson and Whitby.
You learn a lot about if you can deliver.
It's tough.
It's very demanding, both physically and mentally.
It's non-stop. And it pushes you to places you didn't think you could reach. That's what Origin does to you. It makes you reach down into the bottom part of your spirit. And you just do things that you never thought you were capable of doing.
Langer, danger, danger. Langer's over. Having a magnificent game.
They need to know there's nowhere to hide. You've got to aim up. You haven't got a choice. Everybody's relying on you. There's a whole population, a state that's expecting something from you that you don't know whether you can give or not. It's a scary place to go to.
New South Wales versus Queensland. Game 1, Harvey Norman, State of Origin, on 9. Telstra Stadium, Sydney, and the 65,000 people have marched and at times staggered through a bizarre build-up to be congregated here for what never lets anyone down, the game itself. The occasion, plus the contest, equals the grand tradition that is Origin. Welcome to Nine's exclusive live coverage of State of Origin 1 2004. It's true, many of tonight's competitors are new, but their stage is proven over 25 wondrous years. And Nine's expert panel of 4 is part of that history. All former captains with over 70 Origin appearances between them. Channel 9's panel for tonight is headed by Peter Sterling.
A new chapter in the glorious Origin storybook is about to unfold, and tonight I'm joined by 3 men who've made their own indelible mark in state football. I'm talking Gordon Tallis, Paul Horton and Andrew Johns. Good evening, gentlemen.
Hey, Pete.
Looking forward to this, obviously. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, just having watched that opener there, to see the likes of Arthur Beetson, Wally Lewis, Chris Close and Steve Mortimer talk about what Origin meant to them. If that doesn't get you pumped, nothing will. Absolutely. It is that and plenty more.
Now, Gordon, you've announced your retirement from rep footy. You've been a fixture of this since basically 1998. How are you feeling tonight?
Well, I wish I had. Look, I was 7, watching the first State of Origin. I got a feeling that night it just hasn't left me. Look, mate, I woke up this morning, I'm very excited, but I haven't got the nerves that I would have at this time of the year.
Same question, Joey. 12 months ago, man of the match in game number 1. You're out through injury. What are your expectations?
I'm looking forward to watching the debutants, especially the 6 new players from the Blues. And obviously watching me close mate Danny Medeiros hopefully steering the Blues home to a victory.
Paul, you've coached state level, well documented the ordinary preparation for this New South Wales side. Having those disruptions and those distractions, does it hurt their chances tonight?
You know what, I thought it might have a few days ago, but I think Phil Gill's that smart a coach and that good a coach at the last couple of days. I'm sure he has brought this team together, and they will be as one unit tonight, will be as strong as ever.
Well, 6 new faces for New South Wales making their debut this evening. The most inexperienced squad since 1985. And at fullback, Ben Hornby on the wings, Luke Rooney and Luke Lewis, all those players wearing the sky blue for the first time. Reliability in the centres with Michael DeVere and Matt Gidley. 5/8 is Sean Timmins. The halfback is Craig Gowan. Wonderful halves. The back row, Craig Fitzgibbon, Nathan Hindmarsh and Andrew Ryan, the second rowers, former teammates at Parramatta. And the front row of Ryan O'Hara, Danny Medeiros captains the side for the first time, and Mark O'Mealy. And it's a very, very strong bench with Willie Mason and Brent Kite. alongside Trent Waterhouse, Craig Wing. 3 of those players kangaroo tourists at the end of last season. The coach, of course, is Phil Gould. Now, Andrew, you've had a look through the side. We'll say that's inexperienced. You picked out a couple of players who you think are key men for the Blues tonight.
Yeah, I've picked out 4 players. I think the player holding the biggest key is the captain, Danny Medeiros. At the moment, probably just behind Darren Lockyer is the best player in the world. He just knows when to run, knows when to pass. Every option he takes is the right one. His defence is strong. He's going to turn into a great leader, and I'm sure he'll have a here against Brisbane. Good tackle there, Gordon. And he goes through, and just the vision of a halfback. A lot of players there would have panicked or done something wrong. He took the right option and got the Knights home. And like Craig Fitzgibbon, I think he'll play a bit like Luke Ricketson did last year. He'll play lock, might push up in the back row, and might even find himself in the front row for 5 or 10 minutes. His big asset is his enthusiasm. He gets off the line in defence and puts some shots on. He can get wide of the ruck. He's got some skills. And this try epitomised him. He ran 100 metres in the last minute of a semi-final. Look how popular he is with this player. Also goal kicking tonight, so it's a big responsibility for him, but a great player. Craig Gower is in fine form also. Something of the positive for Craig Gower is on the wings, the 2 Lukes play for his Penrith Panthers side. They know his kicking game inside out. The grubber kick here played against the Knights, 3 tries they scored that night, and when he's running the ball, he's at his best. He's short and powerful, built to the ground, and near impossible to stop 10 metres out from the line. And the last one is Mark O'Mealy. Now, he's a key in the forwards. He's got to really stand up to Shane Webke tonight and really take the ball forward and play the ball quick. If there's something to say about Mark, in the past, he can get a bit over-enthusiastic and can carry the ball too much. But look at him here. He's the sort of player, he absolutely loves the collisions. He loves messing up in the middle of the field. He'll need to go forward and dominate in the middle of the ruck.
They had a great series in 2001. Missed last year with a broken thumb, but good to have him back. Now, not just one John's on deck tonight. Brother Matthew has made his way into the New South Wales sheds.
Standing in the Blues dressing room, let's go and see if these boys are ready to win this football game. Craig Gower here, one of the keys to tonight's game. Tenacious player. Nathan Highmarsh, explosive, got a great work rate. That's going to be invaluable tonight. Kirk Gilly, the 18th man. Andrew Ryan, tremendous work rate. Look for a big game from Bobcat. As we go through, it's an apprehensive feeling tonight in the sheds, but that's a great sign if you're a Blues supporter. That apprehension just fuels the team. See Danny Medeiros here. Luke Lewis, his first game in Origin. He'd be nervous. That's perfectly normal. Trent Waterhouse. It's Craig Fitzgibbon up us. Sean Timmins, one of the keys to last year. Look, we're going to have a yarn to Laurie Daly. Laurie, how are you? Mate, you've been involved with so many Blues builds-up. This one has been full of drama, to say the least. Are the boys in the right frame of mind to win this?
I think they are, mate. I think obviously the preparation hasn't been the greatest one in New South Wales history, but look, the last 48 hours since they've been in camp, they've done a tremendous job. Gus is the master at making them peak at 8 o'clock when they run out in the football field. And look, I know we've got the tactics to win, but I know that these type of games sometimes don't come down to tactics. It just comes down to your courage, your energy, your enthusiasm, and doing things that you've never done before. Just picking yourself up when you're tired, picking yourself up when you're hurt. And I think if we show plenty of that tonight, we'll get the win.
Yeah, Matt Johns there with a quietly confident Laurie Daly. We're about to take our first break. We'll come back with the Queenslanders. But first, let's go back 12 months to Origin game number 1, 2003. A classic match that some still rate as the best ever.
Friday, it feels like Origin all over again.
Carroll picks up and put away.
When Brisbane meet the Dragons, it's bound to get heated.
There's a brawl going on.
Broncos, Dragons, 8:30 on NBN's Friday Night Football.
Jenny Stevens did.
Yes, back here at Telstra Stadium, the lights have dimmed. There's some pre-match entertainment about to start as 70,000 fans scream into this crowd. Looking forward to a big match. Kick off around 15, 16 minutes away. Let's have a look and see how the Queensland side lines up tonight. Fullback is Reece Wesser. He makes his debut tonight. Plenty of speed on the wings. Justin Hodges and Billy Slater, the flyer from down there at the Melbourne Storm. We've got a great defender in Paul Bowman and a great attacker in Brent Tate. They're the centre pairing. The 5'8 tonight, Chris Flannery. Big boots to fill of Darren Lockyer. Scott Prince makes his debut in the halfback role. He'll go well. Tony Carroll, the veteran, at the lock forward role. Mick Crocker and Dane Carlaw. They're the workhorses. They'll do plenty of defence tonight. And up front, you've got Shane Webke. Congratulations, captain for the first time of the Mighty Maroons. Cameron Smith, the hooker, and Stephen Price, also another veteran, there in the number 10 jumper. On the bench, pretty strong, Ben Ross, Petro Sivanasiva. He's been around a while. Travis Norton will bring some ball to the match, and also Matt Bowen. Look for him out wide and making some breaks late in each half. Of course, coached by Michael Hagan. You've played with plenty of these players, Gordon. Who do you fancy tonight as being their heroes?
Mate, well, I could pick, I'm any one of the 17, but I've picked out 4. The first one is Reece Wesser. Look, the last time he came to this game was, I was a grand final last year, played outstanding. I went away with a victory, plus he's, look, if New South Wales don't show him respect with their kick chase, he will make you pay.
And he's also very good, of course, as backing up. And if we can get some, Queensland can make some breaks up the middle of the field, Reece will be there to finish them off.
Definitely, mate. And he's one of the players that can score a try from 5 metres out or 95. Cameron Smith, nothing seems to faze this bloke. He's a wonderful player. Look, I'm really interested to see how he works with his forwards tonight. I'm all the little ruck plays with Shane Webke, Petro Sivanasiva, and make sure that he's got a dart out of dummy half, especially when they get a quick play of the ball.
I think the important thing is that he runs himself tonight as well. He's also the number 1 choice goal kicker in the team. We've got Michael Crocker there as well, who's a great goal kicker. But Cameron Smith, he can find the line as well.
The next man is Chris Flannery, Mr. Fix-It, mate. He's probably not used to playing, a 5'8", mate, but he can play anywhere. He's normally a hole runner, but tonight I think he's just got to link up with these players a little bit more. Maybe give the Brent Tate and the Paul Bowman just a bit more clean ball.
Yeah, I don't know that it'll change his game a lot tonight. He's a good backup man as well. He can make a bust. And as we see there for the Roosters, he backs up plenty of breaks as well. He's a good player. I think he'll be very impressive tonight, Chris Flannery.
Look, Scotty Prince, he didn't play too much at the Broncos with us because he had a terrible run with injuries, but it's good to see him back. One thing, Scotty's got to do tonight is he's got to take the line on. He's got to get his forwards. Mate, I don't think he'll be frightened to boss the forwards around because he's played with them.
I would even suggest to Scott Prince that the first time he gets the ball tonight, he just should run the ball, take them on, get hammered and get right into the game. He's also got a great kicking game, especially out to the flanks.
Yeah, 4 young men making their debut tonight for Queensland. And speaking of youngsters, we've called on the youngest Origin representative ever, Ben Ikin, to take us inside the Queensland camp.
Well, here we are, the Queensland dressing sheds, the Nerve Centre. What an absolute privilege it is. As we move through the room and see the very different moods and faces, you'll come to understand that preparation is an individual thing for these guys. They'll all prepare in their own way. Dane Carlaw will play a big role tonight, playing in the second row for his state. We've got many young guys coming to this team. Cameron Smith, the hooker, he'll play a big role. Benny Ross, his first Origin. He'll be plenty excited, revved up, ready to go. And one man that will be fired up and ready to play well for his state tonight is Shane Webke. Shane, how's the preparation been for Queensland this week?
Yeah, had a great camp, uninterrupted sessions. We trained really well, so hopefully that all goes well for a good performance tonight.
And just quickly, mate, what does it mean for you to captain your state?
Well, mate, it's a huge honour, albeit in a standing role for Lockie, but I just hope that myself and the team can both have a good performance tonight.
Well, good luck tonight.
And what a player he is, Shane Webke. Paul, what gives you confidence from that team about tonight?
Yeah, no, he'll go pretty well, Shane Webke. 18 times he's played for Queensland, making his 19th appearance tonight. He'll lead the side well. I do feel that Gus Gould, he'll work out this Queensland side. He might attack him down the flanks, Billy Slater and the like. They haven't played on the wing very often, Slater and Hodges, and I feel that Phil Gould will probably aim plenty of attack at them and including some high balls.
Yeah, without doubt. I think the New South Wales team will go to Matthew Gidley a lot. Just, as you said, on the flanks, just not only they're inexperienced, but they haven't defended together. Under pressure, one might slide, one might cut up and in.
Gordon, side's number 1 here at Telstra, 7 visits, none from 7.
Well, mate, I think it's time. Look, mate, you got to look for Queensland to have a really big dominant forward pack going for them. And Ben Ross coming off the, other sideline, mate. I'm sure he's going to make a big dent.
Well, just minutes to kick off here at Telstra Stadium, and a perfect time for Nine's Kim Sheridan to remind us of some wonderful Origin moments I know you'll enjoy.
Close remembers the man who lit the fire on that night a quarter of a century ago when rugby league's prodigal sons all came home.
Now there's a sight to see. Big Artie and the Maroon of Queensland and captain.
Arthur Beetson in game one, magnificent, heroic, courageous.
Beetson, beautiful pass back to Lang.
Had no right to be there at 35 years of age. He just ignited something in me as a young man that I was glad that I was able to experience it.
He's beat leading pointers. It's under the post for him.
People really saw that there was no such thing as mate against mate. It was just doing your best and doing your best for your state.
Arthur Beetson passed the flame to Queensland's greatest generation, a band of brothers who knew history and yearned to rewrite it.
Miles in the clear.
We remember that New South Wales used to beat Queensland on the basis that there was a lot of Queenslanders playing for New South Wales. We're all back here to play for the Maroons, and let's set this thing straight. And that's what we set out to do, and we did achieve that right through the 80s.
When I walk out onto the SCG, 85 comes back to me.
5 years of defeat were as many as the Blues could swallow.
Well, it really used to annoy someone like me who had enormous pride in the New South Wales jumper for people to come out and say that Queenslanders had more passion. That's why they won the series the first 4 or 5 years. And nothing could be further from the truth.
Pulled enough hard enough together, we'd beat them, and that we did. And all of a sudden, we had that mentality of winning, and we were so used to losing state of origin football, and that was the year it all turned around for New South Wales.
Here's Kenny. Kenny's on the line.
Gee, it's almost 20 years, but I can still take you out to that place where I kissed the turf. A very, very special memory, not just for myself, but for all the boys.
Langer's coming off. Hancock is injured.
Milestones and then miracles. By half-time in Game 2 of '89, Queensland had half its team injured. 5 players left the field, leaving them to finish a man short.
He's going to score. It's a Maroon try.
Of all the Origin matches I've been associated with, that was the greatest victory that we've ever had.
Here's Wally Lewis with a stolen ball now.
When I look at it now, I start laughing because I actually threw a dummy on the inside. There was no one on the inside.
Lewis makes his way uphill. He's got some pace. Lewis, can he go all the way? Still down. He does go. Wally Lewis has gone in, and look at this.
I was ready for about 3 weeks rest when I eventually did hit the line, and it felt like I'd run about 3 Ks anyway.
Mark Geyer's Origin career was short, volcanic and unforgettable.
There's the siren. The end of the first half. And a bit of a punch-up.
I went to wreak as much havoc and chaos as I could on the Queenslanders.
Oh, Geyer and Lewis. They're mouthing off at each other.
The funny thing was, when he first came towards me, I didn't know whether to get his autograph or hit him. I was that in awe of the bloke.
Lewis again says something to Geyer. They push and shove.
Yeah, well, I can tell you didn't ask me for my autograph.
Final preparations for the Maroons and the Blues here at Telstra Stadium. Game number 1 in Origin 2004, and the nervous wait is about to end for both camps. We see the Queensland side there, the new coach Michael Hagan.
He looks pretty relaxed, Pete. He's just hands in pockets. He's watching the boys go around. The boys are warming up. They're hitting some pads and offloading, doing plenty of stretches as well.
Gordon, we see Shane Webke there. Is he a talker in the sheds before a game?
No, definitely not. He's very nervous. I spoke to him just before, I left to come to the ground. He was very quiet, which is not a good sign, I don't think.
And when we came back, we saw the pads out, just getting the body ready for some collisions.
Yeah, look, I just putting, a little thing through your head, probably just going out there making your first play, are your best and just building from that.
Yeah, Shane Webke reminds me of former Queensland captain Trevor Gilmester, who captained the side in '95. Didn't have a lot to say, just got it there and did his job, and he led the side by example with his actions, and I think Shane Webke plays exactly the same way.
Now, we've been told New South Wales have won the toss, Joey. They've elected to kick off, so they'll be coming up with defence first. Does that say anything about how they want to play this game?
I don't know. I generally always like to kick off to start with, just so you get down there, and I think now the way that the teams have changed it with that gridiron mentality, you get down there and you can tackle the opposition in their own 22 for 5 those 5 tackles, it sets up your set for 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, there's always a chance, of course, you can force a mistake as well. But the most important thing, first set of 6, don't give a penalty. Don't give them a free kick, a piggyback up the field.
Well, watching live pictures, of course, there's the New South Wales players. They've done their warm-up. They're just about ready to go. As captain, Joey, we've got 6 players in here who haven't worn a blue jersey before. Would you go and talk to them individually?
Depends. I just see how they're handling the situation. Probably just go up and shake their hand and congratulate them for getting here. And what I usually say to a debutant is make sure you get an early touch, whether that's an early tackle or you get the ball, as Paddy was saying about Scott Prince, and just run at someone so you get in the game. It settles the nerves. Otherwise, sometimes you get out there and the game could be 5 minutes into it and you haven't touched the ball.
You've done nothing. Yeah. Exactly right, yeah.
Well, Paul the Chief Harrigan made 20 consecutive Origin appearances for New South Wales, so he knows the emotive walk from the dressing room out onto the playing surface better than anybody. Here's his insight.
In 24 years, there's been 325 men that's done the Origin walk. And that's where you leave the inner sanctum of your dressing sheds until you reach the cool night air of the Origin arena. Now, I remember it well. There's a good man in front of you walking in single file, a good man behind you, and it's a lonely walk at the start, but you realise with every step that you're taking, this enormous challenge that you've been waiting on is hurtling towards you at double speed. Your mouth is dry, the emotions are raw, intensity through the roof. Now, spare a thought. There's 10 young men doing this Origin walk for the very first time, and the question is, how many of these young guys are not going to be overawed? They're going to have the fortitude not to be overawed tonight, to take the challenge that is State of Origin. That's the question. Now, it's been a big week. It's been a real big week. And it's their time now. It's their turn. We all wish them well. Good luck, boys. Good luck.
Oh, give him a jersey.
Oh, there's a bloke who just give him a blue jumper now. Get him out there, the Chief.
Well, you can see just how much emotion there is in the Chief after all these years. Just quickly, guys, I know who you're going to tip, but why?
Mate, I think Queensland, just simply because of their forwards, are just going to be too big and too strong on the night.
I just think they're going to hang in there, Pete. They'll win it on ticker.
Joey?
Surprise, I'll tip New South Wales just in a low-scoring game.
Well, one thing we are assured of is 40 special minutes coming up. State of Origin game number 1. We're making our way down to the commentary box. Back to you, Ken Suckley.
Thank you, Peter. As New South Wales and Queensland prepare for Origin 1, you too can be a winner tonight through our Sporting Chance competition. There's $5,000 on offer if you can read the minds of the Australian Rugby League selectors and name the VB man of the match. SMS your prediction to this number, 1889926. The competition closes at 9:45 tonight, and the name of the correct entry drawn will be announced on tomorrow night's footy show. $5,000 from VB, so good luck. The countdown is over. When we return, New South Wales and Queensland take the field for Origin 1 2004 with Ray Warren to call the action.
Aerial pictures looking down on certainly that section of the crowd that's here to support the Blues no end. Crowd of around 70,000. Many of the personalities from the world of sport gathered at the Olympic Stadium to witness the opening of the 2004 series. Game number 70 and the Blues. We go through to the dressing room. Just a few final thoughts about how we're going to get this job done. Has there been a more controversial lead-up and build-up to an Origin series than the one we've just come through? Queensland, beaten last year, led out by Shane Webke. First front row captain of Queensland since Arthur Beetson made this famous walk back in 1980. 11th Queensland captain is Shane Webke. And there they are, they're on their way. The last of them through the door. Then the walk. Down to the playing field and then to be greeted by a partisan New South Wales crowd. And here's the reception for them. Proud moment for Shane Webke. Most experienced Origin player of all out there in front of the Queenslanders. He's played 18 state matches for the Maroons, and now a similar moment for Danny Medeiros, the 14th captain of New South Wales. In fact, the first time we've had new captains at the head of their team since 1997, when Adrian Lamb and Jeff Tuvey had that honour. I wonder what the thoughts are. Danny Medeiros as we follow him down. The crowd is starting to bring the volume up. Danny's biggest fears was that this crowd might boo the Blues when they come out for tonight's encounter. That wasn't the case. Great reception, great welcome for them. Series, incredibly, as we go through to year 24, tied at 10-10. Queensland have won 34 games, New South Wales 33, and 2 games have been one of the youngsters, Luke Rooney, debuting, one of 10 players on debut tonight. 6 for the Blues and 4 for the Maroons.
That is just one of the great sporting shots, isn't it? Coming out in the line. You feel like you're the vice-captain of the side almost. Chris Flannery, a big night for him. So too Brent Kite. I think at the beginning of the season you just said Brent Kite was playing Origin football. You'd have got a funny look, but he deserves to be there.
Stand by for the rendition of the Australian National Anthem tonight with Adam John Fiorentino. Advance Australia Fair. Great setting. 70,000 here. National Anthem. Teams getting back into position now for the kickoff. Phil Gould and Michael Hagan, the coaches. They've got so much in common. Gould coached Canterbury to victory in his first year as a coach, and Hagan, of course, won competitions as a player with Canterbury. O'Mealy, the youngsters from the Central Coast, with a very big job to do. Carroll, a veteran of playing test matches for New Zealand and Origin for Queensland. He's been in superb defensive form. Sean Hampstead, his first Origin. He's the 16th Origin referee. He replaces Bill Harrigan. The game is on. Origin's underway. For 2004, the Blues running right-left. And the Maroons with Wesser away for Price. And the New South Wales side go in, 5 of them in number, and put Price to the ground. Now Webke, he's met by 3 of them. Dominant tackles the first 2, with 8 players already. Timmins will play it 30 metres out from the Queensland line. Gower on that line, gets it away to Hornby. Hornby looking to go through. He's held by Bowman, playing right side defence for Queensland. And Flannery involved in the tackle as well. Now it's De Vere running a 45-degree angle, 15 metres out from the uprights. Queensland's end of the ground. Here's Medeiros, sees an opportunity, goes out to Gower. Gower to a flying Gidley. Gidley will play the ball a couple of metres from the line. Fitzgibbon wants it with Gower on the right. Here's Gower looking back to try and unload the ball to Fitzgibbon, but he goes to ground. Couple of metres out from the line. This is the last tackle coming up for them now, the Blues. Here it is, a high pass out to Hornby. He rolls it in, and it's what referee Hampstead has asked for.
New South Wales players look fairly confident. Ben Hornby on this occasion kicking the football on the last. We won't see from that shot, I wouldn't think, whether Sean Timmins does get a touch, the number 6 for New South Wales. Michael De Vere is always in the right place at the right time, and he's confident now.
Well, there's a touch of excitement with the Blues there. Not sure about Timmins watching from the ground.
Onside, no problem at all. The chasers are all behind the kicker, Ben Hornby.
Now the question is, did Timmins touch it or did the Queensland defender touch it?
And if you look at that picture, Hampstead seemingly has got a good view, as good as anybody.
Well, I think it might have bounced over the arm of Sean Timmins. Although again, we had Reece Wesser there obscuring our view.
It's hard to tell, but do we go to the benefit of the doubt?
We'll go to the crossbar cam and see what it's got to tell us. I don't know that it's even touched Timmins.
It's touched anyone.
So the excitement in the New South Wales ranks seemingly has been supported here by some of these replays. Michael De Vere.
There's cameras everywhere.
I just wonder whether we may go back to a ref's call. I don't know whether we've got a shot there that gives a definitive answer to the video referee.
Gus is saying it came off his head, and of course if that's the case, it's not a knock on. It has to come off the hands or part of the arms.
How does he know it came off his head?
He's got a worm's eye view, the coach.
It's 50 metres away.
But he seems to know. Video referee. Stephen Clark and Graham West saying no try, play the ball.
Let's go back over. It's a change over there. Cameron over there.
Medeiros with just a little wound on the bridge of the nose.
I think that's a pretty good call. That was too hard to call, that one. There's got to be reasonable benefit of the doubt, and there wasn't even that, so...
An attempt at charge down, but Wesser is with the ball. Now he's out to the 30-metre line. He's taken down by the left side defence of Rooney and De Vere. Bowman, a dummy half, gets it away for Hodges, and Hodges is out to his 40-metre line.
L2, hands off now, let him go. Oh, Blues, hold.
For Harvey Norman, the first of the State of Origin series, coming to you from the Olympic Stadium with Price
Let him up now.
about to play it near the halfway line. Still no score on the board. Andrew Johns in the preview said he thought New South Wales would win in a low-scoring game. Carlaw sweeps it off from dummy half. Prince gets it away behind Crocker. Carroll gets the ball away to Slater. Slater is put down and tackled by Lewis. Good battle over there, the two youngsters, Slater and Lewis. As Prince gets his kick away, but it's gone again straight to the fullback Hornby. And he's put away by Smith and Carlin.
So Raybo starting front rows for Queensland now off. Ross and Sivanasiva into the action. Petro hasn't played for 6 weeks. Knee injury, and Craig Wing about to be injected into the contest as well.
Here's De Vere.
L3, hands off now, let him up. Oh, Maroon's hold.
Just outside his 30-metre line as it goes to Brent Kite.
All the way, Maroon's all the way.
The 6 Blues on debut. And one of the shock selections, I think you'd have to say. Again, the ball comes loose and Hampstead says, play on. Fair deal. Carroll tries to spin out of a tackle. He's a couple of metres out from the line. It's all hands on deck here. Scotty Prince is over. Prince has scored. A great moment for Scott Prince. He scores the first Queensland try. First points of the night. 4-0. The Maroons over the Blues.
And such a simple one as the Bundaberg telestrator will show. We see, as we freeze play there, both the New South Wales defenders have gone, and that's opened up the centre of the ruck. It's a no-no as play continues. The markers have got to hold. They've got to wait to see what the dummy half does. That time they overread the situation, and Prince was smart enough to throw the dummy and dive through.
4-0 in favour of Queensland. A break and we're back.
What do you got there, mate?
This is the new Discovery Classic Town Edition.
This is the Discovery Classic Country Edition. Got a GPS, waterproof seat covers, and 16-inch alloys.
Hey, Les, this has got 18-inch alloys. Leather. It's got carpet mats.
Carpet? That's not a real disco.
Town or country, they're both classic discoveries, with $5,000 worth of extras for $500. See your Land Rover retailer now.
What colour are the carpet mats?
Back at the Telstra Stadium, you're watching the coverage exclusively on the 9 network, on the wide world of sports, and Queensland have grabbed the first points. Scott Prince, lovely story associated with him, lost his dad, broke a leg, same year, came back, broke the same leg again. Fortunes have swung his way as Cameron Smith, the Melburnian, puts the kick in, but it's away. Andrew Voss, sideline, no change.
Yeah, you're talking about Scott Prince. The viewers who wouldn't be aware, 2001 was when he broke his leg the first time. Came back the next season, did it again. You've got to think this is going to do an enormous boost for his confidence in this match, because right at the moment, the game really from both sides is crying out for someone to put their stamp on the match. It could be the number 7 for Queensland who's capable of doing it.
Yeah, those markers there, they weren't really set. They panicked. They ran. The hole was there. Well done, Scott Prince. He's had a good start to the match. His first kick was ordinary, but all things since that kick have been excellent by Scott
Prince. All the way,
Prince.
boys, all the way. Come on.
Sivana then. Not long into the game. The initial heat has gone out of it. Sivana and Ross, the deputy front row forwards, into the game now.
L3, hands off now. Nathan Highmarsh letting go.
Queensland, 32 metres out from their own line. And the first points in the game. Puts it down. And there will be a scrum to pack. We'll take a break and be back with you in just a moment. 4-0 Queensland.
Oh, thanks. That was refreshing.
Yeah. I think it's a lime.
New Bundaberg Rum Dry and Lime. Surprisingly refreshing taste.
Welcome back to Telstra Stadium with Queensland leading Origin 1 4-0. We're about 8 1/4 minutes out from half-time as Carroll is put down heavily. Sedaris and Waterhouse really thumping the Queensland defence man. Now Price, 5 changes for Queensland. Sivanasiva and Ross have come off, and the initial props for Queensland have got on. Prince, Tate, oh, good work. There's Slater down the left side. And what Brent Tate did was quite fantastic. He's come up with a football. 21 out from the coming up at halftime. The panel is back at halftime.
L2, let him up, don't pull his leg.
This is Willie Mason. 43 metres out from his line. Fitzgibbon gets it to the 40. Thinking about upending him. There's Waterhouse just sucking it in and spitting it out. As Kite gets it over the halfway line. 2-man tackle. Crocker's 11 and Price, of course, the other. Here's Wing. He hasn't really had much opportunity, but he's bound to cut loose sooner rather than later. Now, it's a lovely ball from Gower, but Rooney had no room to work in, and it's gone into touch.
Yeah, Craig Gower's trying to weave some magic, a little blindside play with his Penrith teammate, but the Queensland defence has been strong. Cameron Smith, 26 tackles in the opening half. That's just sensational. Nick Crocker, 22.
23 minutes of the game.
Come on.
Cross for the try, and the only points of the game. Here's Mason beyond the 40. Tries to trample over Travis Norton. Doesn't succeed. Hornby for Timmins. 2 of the Dragons getting together. Now De Vere gets inside the 40-metre line. He will play it 33 metres away from the Queensland line. They're running towards the northern end of the ground, the Blues, that is. And Gower, did he lose the ball? The referee Hampstead said he did, and he's ruling a knock-on. Here he is losing the ball. Yeah, I've got to go with the referee. There's enough there for it to be deemed a knock-on. First up, I thought it might have gone backwards, but then no way. Hampstead's got this right.
If you sent your scrum up, ball time off. All right, there you go. All right, get in.
4-0 in favour of the Maroons.
Turn the scrum, fellas. It's out.
Prince Unloading for Bowman, who came into 5/8 or the first receiver on the left side of the ground. Bowman plays the ball. Cameron Smith passes. Crocker runs with it. Mason lost his footing in the background. Fitzgibbon holding the man down as long as he could before initially. Wing makes the tackle with Gidley. Tate sees an opening up the side of the ruck. Prince joins in. Wesser comes in. De Vere puts on a knock on if the Blues come up with it, and he does. Hampstead blowing half-time. So there it is, Queensland at the break. 4 points to nil, leaders. As we go to the sideline, Matthew Johns with New South Wales coach Phil Gould.
Gus, what's your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, great game of football, great defence from both sides. You know, we haven't had much luck. We've had 3 or 4 opportunities where we look like we're going to score, and we're just going to hang in there, not get too disappointed about that.
Is there one area you'd like to see the boys improve in?
It's a little bit more ball runners on the edges of the ruck. We seem to be running out of options there when Gowie goes across field. But it's been a funny sort of game. We've had some missed opportunities there, and I think that's getting on our nerves a little bit. Queensland are playing good. We're playing good. Great game of footy.
Great game of footy. Good on you, Gus.
Phil Gould with Matthew Johns. Half-time is coming up. Peter Sterling, Paul Horton, Gordon Tallis, Andrew Johns, and your last chance to win $5,000 from VB. 4-0, Queensland at the break, back in a minute.
That was refreshing.
Yeah. I think it's a lime.
Down centre ground. Badira's goes to the line. I don't know that he got it down. He's held up.
He's held up.
Welcome back to Nine's exclusive live coverage of Origin 1. The halftime score, Queensland leads New South Wales 4-0. Now tonight you had the chance to win $5,000 in our VB Man of the Match competition. But time is running out with entries to close at 9:45 p.m. SMS text the name of the player you think will be the VB Man of the Match to this number, 1889926. The winning entry will be announced on tomorrow night's footy show. $5,000 from VB. To set the scene for the second half, your panel of experts headed by Peter Sterling.
A very tight, tough 40 minutes here at the Telstra Stadium with Queensland leading 4 points to nil. That indicates how strong the defence has been. In fact, New South Wales have been unable to break the Queensland line. Only one for the Queensland side, but they do dominate possession. 56% up against 44. First 15-20 minutes, it was all the Blues. Queensland fantastic. The second half of the first half, error rate very low as well. In fact, half of what New South Wales have come up with. The Blues have made 219 tackles. There are some NRL teams on weekends who don't do that in an entire 80 minutes. How have you seen it?
Pete, I think Queensland are doing what we expected. Strong forward play and then the small men from dummy half. So that's what Michael Hagan would be happy with. I don't think New South Wales are playing that well. They've got the ball players in their team, like your Craig Gowers and the likes, and there's no one running on the edges. And I think Phil Gould might be a little bit disappointed with that at half-time.
There was times there when they did go wide, they looked dangerous, but they just got to get their back rowers outside their ball players, get the wingers and centres to hold their width. And with these wet conditions, it's very hard to play around teams. You've got to play through them. Cross plays, run-arounds, just change the direction and close support. That's what Phil Gould will be saying to the Blues for sure.
They have had a couple of opportunities. Danny Badiris obviously went very, very close to scoring out of dummy half, and I guess that's what they'll be looking for, opportunities for him. Here he is. Wonderful effort there by both Tony Carroll and Dane Carlaw to hold up the New South Wales skipper. That's the kind of desperation we've seen the entire first 40.
Well, if you're coaching against Danny Badiris, you've got to say in 80 minutes in a game, he's going to break the line 2 or 3 times. It's how we defend it. He was 10s on to score there, Bedsy, which is great desperation, and that sort of stuff can win games.
And Gordon, a good decision. Sean Timmins, the no try. We talk about benefit of the doubt, but Paul, you got it right. There wasn't enough benefit of the doubt in favour of the attacking team to award this try.
Look, I know there wasn't, mate, and a good thing that I like about Queensland is when Scotty Prince started running the ball at the 20-minute mark, you know, they started looking dangerous. Look, I think that it may have come off his shoulder there as well. Sean Timmins just
well, it's hard the crossbar, Ken, there. It's hard to tell whether it touched Timmins, whether it touched anyone, whether it touched a Queenslander. and I'm pretty happy to say that the video referee got that one right.
There's some camera angles.
Camera angles everywhere.
Camera angles in a Paris Hilton motel room.
Once you come to these kind of games, you love to see how young players are going to handle the occasion. Scott Prince has been fantastic, and I think if anyone is justified in scoring the try, it's this young man.
No, he's been terrific. And Andrew, as a halfback, he sort of eased his way into the match, and then the last 20 minutes he dominated.
What he was doing good. Also, during that first 15 minutes of the first half, the Blues were dominating. He was kicking off no-go forward. So Hornby was catching the ball in the full. When the Queenslanders got some continuity, his kicking game, he was turning the Blues around and dominating field position, and that's why they're 4-0 up at half-time, his kicking game for sure.
Well, the skipper for Queensland, Shane Webke's had a mixed first 40 minutes. I've got no doubt that he did pick up an injury fairly early in this game, and player cam tonight will show just how dominant he was early in the game, so heavily involved, and I guess that shows that he must be carrying an injury because this did drop off.
Yeah, it's just what you'd expect from Shane Webke. Look, I've got no doubt he is crook, and he is worse than he is letting on and worse than we think. He copped one right on the ribs early. He played on. He wasn't the same. See how he's now protecting himself? He's very tough. I reckon he shouldn't be out there, but being the great Queenslander that he is, he'll just carry on. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely, mate. And I thought that he got a fair bit of really good support there. I thought that Ben Ross was really strong, and so was Pedro when he come on. And Dane Carlo to play the whole first half was outstanding for Queensland.
It really is a new attribute to his game, offloading. He can attract 2 and 3 defenders. We saw him do it for Australia only a matter of weeks ago, but this kind of stuff we probably didn't see from Shane Webke early in his career.
Well, you've been helping him out there, Gordon, at training. You're working on his game.
Mate, I tell you what, you can't get him to pass at the Broncos, but every time he puts on these rep jerseys, he's popping more balls than Arthur beats him.
Let's have a look at some of the star performers out of that first half. I don't think anyone's been better than Craig Fitzgibbon. A huge tackle count.
I can't believe he's made 32 tackles at half-time. And he's played 40 minutes, and I think he's a leading yard getter for the Blues also. Yeah. Every time they needed someone to put their hand up, Craig Fitzgibbon got the ball and charged at him.
The live shots there, what do you think that Phil Gould is saying to the boys, Andrew?
I think he'd be saying for sure, don't panic. It's going to be an arm wrestle. This was State of Origin's all about. You can win it in the last 5 minutes if we have to. Probably more dummy half running and just more angle changes around the ruck.
Well, these are live shots from the dressing room. Phil Gould has the players in that semicircle, just laying down a few of the laws that he will have seen from the sideline in the first 40 minutes. I think the back three for them have been superb. The two wingers and the fullback have been outstanding.
They have, Pete, bringing the ball back very, very well. It's been fullback bringing it up, then wing from dummy half. They haven't had a better play than Sean Timmins, I reckon. Now the Queenslanders are up on their feet. They're getting ready to come back out. Gordon, what do you think Michael Hagan might have been talking to them about at half-time?
Look, mate, I think it's very important that they've got to start the second half, just the way that they finished with the first half there, they got to... Obviously, Scott Prince has got to take the line to a bit more. I take the line a little bit more, and I think Brent Tate's got to get in there because when you get in the dummy half, he looked very, very sharp.
Well, there's all there to play for. Thank you, gentlemen. The second 40 minutes about to come up 4-0 in favour of Queensland. With a long way to go in this game. We'll take a break and come back with all the second half action here at the Telstra Stadium.
Welcome back to Telstra Stadium in Sydney. We're just waiting for the second half of Game 1 to get underway. And as you've been made aware, it's a 4-0 lead enjoyed by the Maroons of Queensland over the Blues, the Wizard Blues of New South Wales. And Phil Gould down there in the sheds just trying to extract a little bit more from the boys, although looking at that tackle count, they really gave off their all. A tackle count that some sides don't rack up in an entire game. So they've really earned their money in the first half. Queensland coming back. We're hoping to go down and talk to Michael Hagan in just a moment. A crowd of about probably 70,000 here. They were forecasting 70, 65,000.
I think Brad would be very happy. Michael Hagan has appeared to be more anxiety in the New South Wales shed. Phil Gould more animated than Michael Hagan as the Maroons make their way back onto the Olympic Stadium.
New South Wales have been behind at half-time 24 occasions, and they've come home with the wet sail only 3 times. 3 from 24. And there they are, pledging allegiance to the cause. And the cause has got 40 minutes to run. Otherwise, they'll be heading to Suncorp Stadium, the Cauldron, and taking on the might of the Maroons to keep it alive, to bring it back here for a decider. There's been some outstanding performances, the least of which has been from Michael Hagan, the Queensland coach, putting together this performance on a fairly limited preparation. I made the comment before half-time how well they were playing. It's been like a well-drilled Queensland team as the Blues come out for the second half. And Benny Ikin's doing a good job for us downstairs. He's with Queensland coach Michael Hagan now.
Well, Mick, what'd you make of the first half?
Yeah, pretty good, tough encounter, which you expected at Origin. Our boys are hanging in pretty good.
How do we win it from here?
Oh, I think probably more of the same. You know, they've controlled the ball pretty well, and I think defensively we're not going too bad.
Well, thanks for your time and good luck in the second half.
Michael Hagan there with Ben Ikin, one of a commentary team of stars. Just looking off to my right, Gordon Tallis and Andrew Johns sitting in a box next to me. Best of friends. Danny Badeiras urging his players now. Phil Gould resumes his sideline seat. Assistant coach Laurie Daly away there to the back. Fantastic performance from Fitzgibbon. 32 tackles and 8 hit-ups. He was the biggest meter getter in the first half for the Blues. And there's the kick-off, and they've made a mistake. Knock on in front of the goal mouth. 11 metres out, in fact. Hornby not happy with himself.
Just keep yourself straight, Queensland.
Hard to believe there would be no communication between players at this level. And here's Queensland winning the scrum, and Wessup into the back line on the left of the ground. Smith it is, dummy half, and Whoopkey goes up and gets rid of Timmins and then offloads to Tate. Tate gets it away to Wessup. Wessup over the 10-metre line. Flannery got himself into an offside position. Slater now. Here is Prince looking for try 2. Sliding the ball to a Blue. Craig Goward is saving the day for them. Rooney, 8 out from his own line. What a horrible start for New South Wales. Put away 15 out from the Queensland line. Play on the eastern side. Blues running towards the southern end now. Gower getting it back for Timmins, and Timmins found a defender who slipped and fell. And that was Carroll. Timmins plays it 8 metres out from the line, and Gower to the line, and then Gidley.
Lost his legs.
And a dominating tackle from Tate and Crocker. Badeiras for Gower. The ball is there. It's been knocked on. I thought for a moment Hornby might have touched down. Let's go down to the sideline. Andrew Voss. Yes, yeah. Andrew.
Well, we heard from both coaches both before and after half-time. I can tell you no injuries to report during the break. And the two coaches only used 5 interchanges each in the first half. So they've got 7 changes at their disposal in the second half. Look, Ray, I think in a tight contest, it's worth pointing out tonight, there is golden point extra time in State of Origin football, but it's a little different than week to week in first grade. They will play 5 minutes the first half of extra time if scores were level at the end of 80 minutes, and then it would be unlimited time in the second half of extra time if there wasn't a point. So basically we just keep playing until there's a score.
Brent Kite there, tackled inside the 30-metre line.
And Reece Wesson was ruled to have kicked that dead. That's why New South Wales get the football back from the line drop out. Badeiras inside the 20.
Centre ground. The captain plays it. Wing out from dummy half. His coach looking for him to explode and inspire. In the second half, Wing plays the ball. Timmins takes them on. And he puts it out. Puts it over the line. Hempstead wants to look at it. Queensland's Billy Slater and Brent Tate. They're not happy about the decision.
Well, he's been outstanding tonight, Sean Timmins. I think he's been their best. He's tackled, he's run hard, created opportunities. Now, does he get the ball down? There's 3 Queenslanders there trying to stop him. Momentum, is he still going? And does he get it down on the ground? I tell you what, it looks like he has. It's come off the leg of one of the Queenslanders, and then he's still got control, downward pressure, and if this ball is on the line, this will be a try.
Yeah, I think it touches Scott Prince's foot first, comes off it. There is still momentum in the tackle. The players are moving. And Sean Timmins gets the football down over the line. This will be a try. He's travelled a long way to score that one, Sean Timmins.
And he's done it all on his own. You know, sensational stuff by Sean Timmins. Gus, he's got the thumbs up. He likes it.
Well, he can play anywhere, Sean Timmins. Normally a back rower. He actually started for New South Wales as the starting 5'8" in all three matches last year.
Debuted in top grade back in '94, and it is a try. We'll take a break and be back in a moment. 46 minutes down. And we are back at the Olympic Stadium taking the conversion attempt of the Timmins try live with Craig Fitzgibbon. 15 in, 15 out. There goes the shot, and it's right between the uprights. The Blues take the lead thanks to the oldest player in a blue jumper, Sean Timmins.
And this is how it was set up. Craig Wing, one of his rare forays out of dummy half. And Sean Timmins, he came a long way. He wanted to get there earlier. As Paul pointed out, 3 defenders. He's done it all by himself. And then Craig Fitzgibbon, an embarrassment of riches in the kicking department for New South Wales to convert that man's try. They opted for Fitzgibbon over Michael De Vere.
Interesting to note there, as you said, Pete, he hasn't done it many times tonight, but Craig Wing out of dummy half. He's almost been playing as a second rower or back row as a hit-up merchant. Get him out of dummy half. He's very, very dangerous. Alarm bells ringing for Queensland if Craig Wing is there.
Well, this time there was no mistake from the restart by Craig Wing. Ball played by Brent Kite, and now Fitzgibbon takes it out towards the 30-metre line. He's met there by Scott Prince and Brent Tate. Crowd now lured into the game, Andrew. What's the feeling like down there now?
Oh, absolutely. They have lifted a number of decibels on the back of that try. They are now a factor. Of course, the Blues never beaten here at Telstra Stadium.
Yes, that's a fact that we probably haven't delved into too deeply, but they have not gone away with victory at this stadium in 7 appearances, the Queenslanders.
Yeah, the closest they went was 1 draw, 6 losses. Last tackle now against the Blues. Another slow play the ball.
Timmins playing it. Twice he was told he might not ever play again. Now Hornby was on a chase. It's a penalty where the ball lands. Interference has been ruled against Queensland on Hornby.
And against Shane Webke, said that he moved into his line. Now he was running. Well, I don't know about that. Shane Webke was just turning to chase the ball. And they're going to kick the goal here. Ben Hornby charging through. Well, maybe he did collect him.
And Danny Medeiros could not point to the post quickly enough. One of those line ball decisions, but in Sean Hampstead's defence, he was in great position to call on that. It is his first Origin, but he has refereed the last 2 test matches that Australia have played in. He's well experienced.
Shot for penalty. The decision came from the coach, Phil Gould. Got a message out there. I want the 2. And Fitzgibbon, preferred kicker. At 6'4". From right in front, he's pulled it a little bit, but it's there. Flags in the air again. It is 8 points to 4. Andrew, sideline.
And that crowd goes up another notch. And what about Craig Fitzgibbon? I know the boys gave him a massive rap at half-time. I think we're watching one of the great forward appearances in State of Origin football tonight. And you're throwing to the bargain. He's the #1 goal kicker as well. The kick to convert the Timmins try. Great advantage for the Blues to have Fitzgibbon and also De Vere in their ranks. Queensland to only call on Smith and Crocker.
Kick-off time again. Marked by Gower.
It's one-out stuff, and they're in the wrong part of the field to score tries. Scott Prince need more of that, little short kicks.
Now Gidley. The Rooney-Lewis combination. The big fella is standing. Barking. Waving. At the moment it's working. He leads by 4. As it goes to Gower. Crocker smashes him into the turf. Ball is well weighted, and well, it was well weighted for a chaser, but it's gone dead. We'll take a break. Be back in a moment. 8-4 the Blues.
Hold me, never let me go until you've told me what I want to know, and then just hold me, make me tell you I'm in love with you.
Double hopped Sterling, the beer lover's light.
Telstra Stadium, New South Wales by 4.
All the way, please. Come on. Back and hold now. Hold. Good game.
Smith. Long ball away for Flannery, who comes back into the middle, and Scott Prince gets away from Fitzgibbon. He might go all the way. Throws the big pass. Tate's on his way. Tate scores. Brent Tate goes in to score. Third try at Origin level. Brent Tate in his 5th Origin game.
And not long back from injury, Brent Tate. But set up by Scott Prince. A lovely step there. The left foot step. I think he beat Craig Fitzgibbon one-on-one. That's no mean feat. And then a beautiful ball out wide to Brent Tate. He had Billy Slater in support. Gidley, the only blue jersey there. That's Scott Prince. Talk about coming back from injury. This man has been devastated in the last couple of seasons, but he's devastated New South Wales on a couple of occasions tonight.
Oh, how good was that? He took the line on, got the ball, inside pass, had a man in front of him, little step, twist to the body, and then he came out wide and he found the support, found the speed men, found the men who could score the try, and Brent Tate was that man. Look at that, lovely step. You can't blame Craig Fitzgibbon. He was trying to make his 41st tackle for the night. He must be dead on his feet. Queensland back. 8 all.
And a chance to go to the lead. Cameron Smith. Well, it's a very difficult conversion as the Queenslanders regroup. Talk about what they need to do. So important that the next set of 6 is good. There's Gary Belcher, another former Origin great. Telling them what is expected from this young man. And put his state in front late in the game. We're into the final quarter of the match.
8 all. For Cameron Smith from the sideline. 25 metres out. Left foot kick, and it's well wide. Let's go to the sideline. Andrew Voss.
And the crowd has been posted at 68,344, and I reckon probably 66,500 booed that attempt from Cameron Smith. That is real pressure. Paul Harrigan back with me on the sideline. These two teams really warming to the contest now.
It's classic stuff now. Both these teams are tied. They've both got injuries. It's not a matter of skill anymore. It's a matter of will. It's all about honesty. One missed tackle could make the difference.
Phil Stavey on the kick while he kicks it.
Restarting off the boot of Michael De Vere, and Petro Sivanasiva brings it back. Waterhouse is there to meet him with Hindmarsh and Badeiras.
Yeah, the captain straight back into the action, Danny Badeiras.
Here's Ross, again tackled by Badeiras and Waterhouse just on the 30-metre line, Queensland's end, and we are with Crocker held on to by Smith. And here's Wing now, going out from dummy half and running to the short side, but Gidley comes back towards the centre of the ground. At 8 points all, we are in golden point extra time. A shot from Timmins has got the height, it's got the length, and the crowd goes up. Hempstead awards the point. The Blues have won it. The Blues have won Origin 1. A field goal by Sean Timmins, who scored their lone try. What a night for Sean Timmins. 9-8 is the final count. The Blues winning it. What a drop kick.
Yeah, what a great play there by Sean Timmins. Craig Gower was also there. A few of the players rounded him. They gave Sean Timmins just enough time. Scott Prince, what a great game he had. The Queenslanders despairing. They tried so hard tonight. They never got into good field position to have a shot at field goal. New South Wales had 4 or 5 shots. Finally, it was left to Sean Timmins, and he potted a fantastic field goal. 35-40 out, and wins the game for New South Wales.
Well, it was a clever play because Gower had taken the previous couple, and Sean Timmins, not a noted drop kicker, but he's hit that one sweetly. He knew halfway there that it was going over. And Phil Gould, he is straight out. Congratulate his teammates. 83 minutes of nail-biting stuff here at the stadium. And the Blues get home on the boot of that man in the 6 jersey.
That was the crowd. They knew it was over. She sailed high, she sailed sweetly, and crossed the bar right over the black dot. Tony Carroll went down with disappointment, as did most of the Queenslanders.
Paul Harrigan with Craig Fitzgibbon. He's an Iron Man, isn't he, Paul?
He absolutely is. You played well over 80 minutes, ran about 50 tackles. That finish, tell me about that finish.
Oh, mate, I'm so happy for Timo to nail that last kick. It was just great. So I was just so proud of him. All the boys worked so hard. It was just a shame I couldn't win it down the end there with that kick I had. I'm really disappointed myself for that. I missed a tackle out the middle there that Let's Got Prince through. So rewarding for me to see the boys win after I let them down in that department, but I'm pretty happy.
Every minute when this game went, it got harder and harder as the game went on.
Yeah, that's the hardest game I've had. Wow. You just think that the people are out on their feet. I don't know where they get it from, but they just keep coming. They just don't ever stop. And our boys never stopped either. And we got a lot of impact off our bench, which was great.
That's what it's all about. Just finally, how do you put this win in perspective considering the week that you've had?
Through the week we had, and we've got a few people that are injured. And just the boy everyone wrote us off. I suppose we're still favourites in the betting ring, but people looking at us think that we didn't have it in us, and it's just so rewarding. Get out and bust our ass for the whole game and get the points.
Congratulations, you're a dead set Iron Man.
Thanks, Steve. Cheers, mate.
Craig Fitzgibbon, he's played in 4 grand finals, he's won just the one. Gus Gould, the coach, with Timmy Gilbert now.
Phil Gould, explain your feeling when you ran out to your players. It's unbelievable. I mean, look, I said this at the start of the series. There's a lot of star players missing from both these sides, but people want to play Origin and want to lift, and you just saw 34 really courageous players out there tonight. I mean, we've got the money, but there's no losers there. I mean, Queensland were terrific. Our boys were terrific. And State of Origin doing something you're not renowned for. Sean Timmins, 45 metres. I mean, it's incredible. It's unbelievable. It's a cliche. Is that what State of Origin's all about? Look, State of Origin is about a lot of things, but you saw a hell of a lot of them here tonight from both states. I mean, we're really pleased with one. We're one up in the series. That means nothing. I can't wait for game 2. It's going to be a beauty.
Wrapping up one of the toughest weeks of your footballing life, does that make one little step back?
I'll sleep tonight.
Thanks, Gus.
Timmy Gilbert talking there with coach Phil Gould. So we'll take a break, and when we come back, the VB man of the match. Here it is again for you as we prepare to go to our post-match wrap of Origin 1. Timmins got it beautifully. It went skyward. It had all the volume and perfect direction. So when we come back, the VB man of the match, dressing room interviews, Gordon Tallis, Andrew Johns, Paul Vaughton, and of course Peter Sterling.
A man's got to win.
It wasn't flash, it wasn't fancy, but it was effective for New South Wales tonight, squeaking home in extra time, courtesy of a field goal for Sean Timmins. The New South Wales players just finishing off a very slow victory lap there, now making their way into the dressing room, tired, very sore, but elated after 83 minutes that they've come out on top in this opening game of the 2004 State of Origin series. There's the scorecard. Sean Timmins a try, Craig Fitzgibbon kicking 2 from 3, Timmins the field goal, and 2 tries to the Queenslanders, Tate and Prince scoring. Cameron Smith a couple of difficult conversions, he missed both. And on a stage where plenty of heroes are always produced, Andrew Voss is the man chosen as tonight's best.
Yes, the VB man of the match tonight, the New South Wales 5'8", Sean Timmins, the player who breaks the deadlock in the 83rd minute. Sean, you've got to talk us through the kick.
Mate, I was off when the extra time started and come back on, and Gowie went for a few shots. I could just see him chasing him all the time, so I had a whisper in his ear and said, give us a go. And Bedsy hit me. I thought it was going to be short, but luckily it just got over. I was stoked.
If I threw you a ball now, could you go do it again?
I don't think so. I've only ever kicked one before, and at training I'm normally not real good, so I'm just stoked that it went over.
So only 1 field goal in your entire first grade career?
Yeah, that's my second, and I think I'll remember it.
Can I ask you, had you practiced field goal plays at all in the week leading up to this match?
We practiced last night, but I didn't even have a shot. Craig Gowie was having the shots, but I just knew there at the end that they were chasing him that much, so I just...
Now, for the people watching, they wouldn't know the disappointment you've had in your career, those serious knee injuries there a couple of years ago. Nights like tonight erase all those disappointments.
For sure, it's why I hung in there and play here in front of my family and that, and then kick that. It's really worth it, and I love being part of it.
This ain't bad behind you either. The the Blue Fanatics getting into it. The crowd really lifted in the second half.
Oh, mate, the crowd were unreal. Just to play here, we know it's going to be tough on next Origin, but this one was awesome.
How big is next game going to be up at Suncorp Stadium?
Mate, it's going to be tough, but hopefully we can keep the same side, and they're always going to be tough up there, but we'll just have to wait and see. It's still another couple of weeks.
All right, Tom, well done. You're the VB man of the match, and I'll let you rejoin your teammates.
Cheers, thanks a lot.
Not a bad second field goal to kick in your career to win a state of origin.
Miracle. How has that happened?
Well, I'm trying to work out how they set it up, Joey. He said they practiced last night. Craig Gower had a couple of opportunities and got charged down. Like, that's putting your hand up to say, I'll take the responsibility.
I played Origin football with Timo for that long, and after every session, it'd be forwards and backs. You would have done the same, Gordon. I've never seen Timo come within 10 metres of kicking one.
I think
how he's kicked that, and it's gone straight down the middle.
But isn't that typical of what State of Origin can throw up? Sean Timmins, a hero for New South Wales tonight and deserved man of the match. He ran, he tackled, and incidentally, that is the second 9-8 scoreline in Origin history, the last one being in the first game of 1999, which Queensland won through a Matt Rogers field goal in normal time.
Now, Fatty, there will be criticism of Golden Point again tonight. You know, Queensland were valiant. After 80 minutes, it was all locked up. But, you know, to be here with this big crowd, I think you've got to be a part of a crowd at a game at Golden Point to really see the merit, the worth of it.
I don't think you'll find any critics of Golden Point tonight. And I have been. I think in normal play, round 26 or 27 of the NRL, if a game's 15 all, it's got to stay that. But tonight, no complaints at all, Gordy.
No, mate, I just north of the border, that's all. But look, mate, it was a great game and both teams tried. And mate, there's got to be a winner because we found before that there was, you know, a drawn series.
You know Shane Webke very well, the disappointment on his face, and look, he played wounded the whole second half. Magnificent performance by him.
Yeah, look, mate, that was a great effort. Obviously, Shane was hurt early and just stayed out there, and that's what a Queensland captain's got to do. He wasn't at his best tonight, but he hung in there, and it was a really great performance by him.
I actually think Queensland will take a lot out of this game. I think they can play a lot, but they'll believe they can play a lot better. So to go so close, I think will give them confidence going back to Suncorp. Let's have a look at some of the statistics out of the game. Cameron Smith, 53 tackles. Fitzgibbon 48, Ryan 43, Crocker 42, Hindmarsh 41. They're phenomenal figures, even if we did go 83.
That's incredible. 53 tackles is unbelievable. And he ran the ball as well. His kicking from dummy half was good. And Craig Fitzgibbon, well, he was probably going to get the man of the match maybe until Sean Timmins kicked that field goal. It was neck and neck between those two, but he was outstanding as well. Steve Price, he did his part, took up the mantle when Shane Webke was off injured with 27 hit-ups. That is just sensational. Nearly 200 metres.
Mate, Stephen Price is just an unsung hero. Like, you don't talk too much about him, but he just gets the job done every week. He comes up with those stats every single week.
Joey, I thought the second 40 minutes, it really brought the game alive. Not just necessarily the closest of scores, but I thought the urgency from both sides and the desperation to have the hunger to win this one.
So many times out there the game could have gone either way, and the best thing out there was this game on the line, the rookies were standing up. Luke Lewis was catching bombs he shouldn't have caught. Billy Slater was in the clear, finding himself in the clear. So look at this game. It was a great spectacle, a bit grinding in times, but what game too. It's going to be a great game.
Well, our Sporting Chance winner will be announced on the Footy Show tomorrow night, so stay tuned, 9:30 as always, live, and we'll take a break now and come back to wrap it up here at the Olympic Stadium.
Three cheers for us.
At the end of a difficult week, it is cheers all round for New South Wales. 9-8 they've got home tonight. They've shown that they're a close unit and they needed to be to get this victory tonight. Just the second time Queensland have scored more tries than their opposition and lost the game. Last time that happened was Game 3 way back in 1986. So some history set in a couple of ways tonight, Paul, and a lovely way to get this series underway after the dramas. We've had a great game of footy and it's set up Game 2 and 3.
You know what, that is a great effort by New South Wales. You've got to give credit where it's due, and they had a tumultuous week, didn't they? Came back into camp on Sunday evening, and Phil Gould, you got to wrap him. He's done a magnificent job to get them back on track, and a good last couple of days in camp, and a great effort tonight.
Joey, I said Queensland would take plenty out of this game. So too the Blues. They know that they'll improve.
Especially early, Pete. They bombed 2 or 3 tries the first 10 minutes. And I just think up in Queensland, if it's a dry track, then the Blues can really exploit some weaknesses on the edges. But great start of both teams.
And I'll tell you who will take something out of tonight, Pete, and panel, is Scott Prince. I thought he was probably Queensland's best. He was involved in a lot of the play, ran to the line, short kicking game was good, long kicking game was good. I think he'll go even better next game.
I think all the players who, you had the wingers, you had Cameron Smith coming in, just playing his second game. A lot of players in key positions, Flannery at 5'8", they'll all get something out of this.
And Darren Lockyer will be back to help guide the ship around a bit. And I think that, and that's what Queensland missed tonight at certain stages, someone that could guide them around a little bit more. And obviously he's going to take a lot of pressure off those young blokes as well.
Okay, let's go down to Ben Eichen, who's with the Queensland coach.
Well, Mick, thoughts on the game?
Oh, it was an outstanding effort by our players, and extremely disappointing to lose in the circumstances that we did lose. And I don't know if it was really what we wanted in the end. Obviously, exciting for a lot of people, but not too exciting for our people and our fans.
How do you think the young blokes went for Queensland tonight?
Yeah, I thought they were all outstanding. I thought our debutants were had a great week and played accordingly. So we can be pretty happy with what we got done tonight. And I thought played with a lot of pride and a lot of desperation on our line at times.
Thoughts and feelings on Golden Point at the moment?
Yeah, it's probably not what we're looking for at Origin level. I mean, it's come in on the back of a couple of things 2 years ago, but it's a 3-game series, and probably a draw was a fair enough result for both teams tonight.
What do we do to win Origin 2?
Oh well, I think our approach and attitude to game 1 was what it should be, and I think the performance reflected that. So it's been disappointing to lose, but we'll come again in the next few weeks, and I'm sure the players will respond at Suncorp like they normally do.
Thanks, mate. I thought it was an outstanding effort tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, not the ideal start for Michael Hagan taking over as Queensland coach. I got the feeling he'll be in charge of the Maroons for a long, long time. Well, guys, thanks for your company tonight. Enjoyed every second of it.
Welcome, Pete. Yeah, great start to another fantastic Origin series.
We'll see you all again in 3 weeks' time. Forward to that as well. And Ken, I hope that everybody else has enjoyed tonight as much as we have. Thank you.
Yes, indeed, Peter. We said at the beginning of the telecast, the State of Origin delivers, and once again it did tonight. And don't forget, our SMS Sporting Chance $5,000 winner announced on the Footy Show live tomorrow night. And then, of course, don't forget Game 2, as Peter said, State of Origin from Suncorp Stadium in Queensland.
I think I'm getting a nosebleed. What are you talking about, Shrek? These are great seats. Maybe a great view, but this is not a seat, Duncan.
Yeah, but it's where all the action takes place for my team, New South Wales.
Maroons.
Go the Blues.
Queenslander.
Incoming.
What are you talking about now?
Wow, man, that's what I call football.
Yes, indeed, everybody will be there. Plenty of footy action coming your way this week. The Footy Show tomorrow night, where they will have a big State of Origin post-mortem. Then Friday night football from Suncorp Stadium, where the Broncos take on the Dragons. On Sunday, the Panthers take on the Bulldogs. And as we said, State of Origin 2 live from Suncorp Stadium in 3 weeks' time. On behalf of the entire team here at Telstra Stadium tonight, for State of Origin 1, good evening.
This has been another presentation from Nine's Wide World of Sports. This program brought to you by Bundy Rum, celebrating the true Aussie spirit of sport. Amy, lucky you're with Amy.